Every culture has a value system. If we are to become culturally intelligent, it is critical that these values are known so that the adjustment process is not fraught with peril. For the most part, these values are matters of difference, not right or wrong. As such, we are free to communicate openness, acceptance, and trust to people who may express these values differently than we do. Have you ever encountered situations where clear signage is everywhere, directions are detailed, expectations are spelled out explicitly, and you have a sense of confidence that you will be able to find your way around without much difficulty? You are undoubtedly in a place with a low context. Little is left to your assumption. Everything is spelled out. In contrast, you are a visitor in a different situation where it seems that there are no signs, you are left to your own instincts, and much time is spent asking others for directions. Everyone else but you knows what's going on. You have found yourself in a place with a high context. Everyone else is familiar with the surroundings because of their long history together. When working cross-culturally, it is your inherent duty to determine whether the group is high or low context. Church is a perfect example of high context. People routinely stand, bow, and recite creeds that appear foreign and confusing to visitors. You would think that this should not be the case. One of the reasons why the retention rate in churches is so low, as well as the percentage of return visitors so dismal, could be attributed to this tension. A visitor is coming into a high context environment where everyone knows the rules and no consideration is given to the person who is not acquainted with the norms and practices. The nuclear family is another example of high context. After years of being together, we know what the unspoken rules are of what to eat, how to celebrate holidays, and how to communicate with each other. A stranger to the home will have difficulty maneuvering around in such an environment unless sensitivity is practiced and communication strategies are intentional. In high context societies, there is less verbally explicit communication and less formal information. Multiple network ties and intersections with others create more internalized understandings of what is communicated. These relationships are long-term and there are strong boundaries concerning who is accepted as belonging versus who is considered an outsider. Low context societies are rule-oriented and more knowledge is public, external, and accessible. There is a separation of time, of space, of activities, and of relationships. More interpersonal connections exist, but of shorter duration. Knowledge is more transferable in low context societies. Decisions and activities focus around what needs to be done, and there is a division of responsibilities. Discerning whether a people group is high or low context is critical because our communication strategy will be based on such knowledge. Persons from Latin America, Korea, the Middle East tend to operate in a high context modality. Common information about the rules of engagement is much more likely to be assumed and embedded within their psyche when they are together. Here are some suggestions for cross-cultural engagement in high and low context. For individuals from low context cultures, beware of ridiculing a place or a people who just don't bother to label their roads or provide explicit instructions. For individuals from high context cultures, be sensitive when hosting low context individuals by providing more explicit instructions than what would ordinarily be needed with a colleague from your own culture. Then find a way to get the understanding and communication needed. Develop a strategy for finding your own way. Thank you.